Hey there, folks. Igor Kheifets here, and today I'm speaking with Bill. Now, Bill has been working with me for about 90 days or so, maybe a bit more than that. And right now, he hasn't still quit his day job, so you can see him, sitting right in his car because he usually wakes up really early in the morning, works out, and then, goes to kick some ass at the job. So I've kind of caught Bill and to record a quick case study video to share his results with the rest of the world, so you too can see for yourself just how fairly quickly a regular person, a virtually, someone who was a nobody online and who hasn't been online for that long, can go ahead and make a part-time and a full-time income from home using list building. So, Bill, thank you so much for doing this. So why don't you start off by by sharing with us a bit about what exactly did you try to do, and what failed and what worked for you before you attempted list building.
Yeah, well, first off, thanks for having me on, Igor. I appreciate it. Um, and before I tried list building, to be honest with you, I tried at least 5 to 10 different things online. Whether it's different programs or mainly just programs. To be honest with you, I kept coming across things on different forums, what have you, just people promoting things on Facebook that I would try to join and get started. But to be honest with you, at the time. And even now, I was just super busy with, my day job and my life, and I couldn't be going to, home parties and just different, different crazy things that I just honestly, it just didn't fit in my schedule, and it just didn't work for me. So did a little bit more, searching online. I needed something that I can do really early in the morning, or really late at night, or really late at night, so I can still do what I need to do during the day because I just couldn't. I was in no position to get rid of a job by any means. So that's kind of where I am now. And I found Igor. I found you. On the Warrior Forum. Sent you, reached out to you, had a couple phone calls, and I was lucky enough to get accepted into the program, which it's been awesome, absolutely awesome, and it has been just over 90 days, and I can't wait. I'm super pumped for the next 90.
All right, very cool. Um, Now, the one thing I do want to point attention of our listeners to right now is the fact that you do work a full-time job. You also work out like a maniac. You're a big, buff in that regard, and you obviously have other commitments. So, how much time do you like? How many hours a day have you had to invest into building up your business?
Um, Hours a day. I mean, I think it's on average. I mean, it's a minimum 2 to 3 hours a day. I honestly, I wouldn't want anyone to get the wrong impression and say I do it for 20 minutes a day because that's just not realistic. Um, but again, it's usually an hour, hour and a half before I go to work. Usually, an hour, 2, 3 hours at night. Um, but at the end of the day, I'm making sure. I mean, trust me, there's been days too where it's 6, 7 hours, but on average, it's probably 2 hours a day during the week, and on the weekends, I definitely get after it a little bit and make up for anything I couldn't do during the week. Bottom line is, I committed to this, and you can't make excuses. You can find a couple hours here and there to get it done.
Very cool. The one thing I do, the vibe that I'm getting is that basically, you're somebody who's willing to make the sacrifices, right? A lot of people aren't willing to make the necessary sacrifices in terms of time or finances in order to succeed. But your sacrifices are obviously paying off. So my question to you, is it worth it?
It's worth it 100 times over. The things I've been able to learn and the things I've been able to put in place in 90 days. I mean, if you want to talk about being worth it, I mean, within 90 days, being able to make over $3,000 in a month and sacrificing a couple hours of sleep, I'll sign up for that all day, Igor. It's a no-brainer for me.
All right, very cool. And again, we have to remember when someone who's listening to this interview right now, they may be at that stage in their life when they're not seeing any results. So making those sacrifices doesn't really seem viable. A lot of people want to see instant gratification, instant results. So you have to remember that when you're making, this way from a nobody to somebody, right? That you have to make these sacrifices. You have to invest in yourself. You have to invest the hours, invest the dollars in order to achieve these results. So what is your list size right now?
Right now, I'm about 100 days in. My list is it's just under 7,900, so it's almost at 8,000 subscribers right now on my list. I was able to put together in 100 days.
All right, all right. And you said you were able to bring in over the 3 grand in a month.
3 grand this month. So far in April, and we still have a couple days left, which I'm really excited about. Altogether, it's just over. Last month I was able to do 1,700. So I mean, I'm getting close to that $5,000-6,000 mark right now, and I have a couple other things in place that I'm learning through you with the some high ticket items, back end offers that I really think that's going to start shooting up a little bit. To be honest with you, a lot of that money is just solely off my funnel. Um, I've began selling ads, but to be honest, I really am putting a lot of that money back into swaps and growing my list at an even greater rate.
Okay, so you're growing the list cost effectively. I assume you're kind of just making some money, putting it back into the business, seeing some returns, putting it right back. So it's kind of like a circle that you're putting the money through.
Yeah, I am. I'm not losing money when I'm building my list right now. So I mean, most of the time my ads are free. If not, I'm getting damn close to free subscribers, which is an awesome feeling. Just because I mean, up front in the beginning, yes, I had to invest a little bit of money. I probably put my funnel out there a little bit early just because I was so eager. So, but it was tweaking along the way. I really just wanted to get it out there and focus on just getting better each day and progressing.
Very nice. And in fact, what you're saying here, putting the funnel out there while it's not like 100% ready, is actually a good thing. Most people will delay putting it out there, wanting for it to be perfect, instead of putting it out there while it's not perfect, because putting out something that's like 60 or 70% ready is still much better than not putting anything out there, even if you're like, if you have the intention of making it perfect, which it will never be. Let's face it, because it's selling online and copywriting and building lists is like a never-ending process. You become a student of that stuff for life, and you always learn something new that you can do with your funnel to improve. Like right now, you're going through you realizing you could be offering high ticket services, high ticket perhaps coaching, so that will add a big chunk of money back to your funnel. But you only realizing that now, and you can build upon what you got while the funnel ain't perfect. So it's a very good
Absolutely.
thing. That's a very correct type of thinking that you want to bring to the business. So you did it part time. You made some investments, but now you're growing your list without actually, having to put any money down, which is great.
Yep.
So, what is your next goal? Where are you aiming?
My next goal along the way, I have a couple, steps. I want to be at that $10,000 a month mark, but I think after this month, coming in at it will be over 3 grand, a little bit, maybe closer to 3,500 to be honest with you, because the last couple of days I woke up with a couple $100 in my PayPal account. Just because the way I have my funnel set up, there's a lot of subscriptive stuff, so it hits right in the morning when I wake up, which is pretty cool. But next month, I really do believe I will be over 5 grand next month. And within the next 3 months, my goal is 10 grand a month in the next 3 months. I was able to get to where I am now in 90 days. The next 90 days is 10 grand a month, no doubt.
And do you have like a clear action plan in your head exactly how you want to get there?
Absolutely. I'm going to keep working on, like I just mentioned, I have some, back end offers, some high ticket offers that I'm going to start throwing into my funnel. And get my buyers list on. My buyers list is pretty big already, to be honest, which is pretty cool. So I think I should get some good hits there. But I am starting to offer my solo ads. I got my solo ad sales page ready to rock. I'm actually about to launch that later on today or first thing tomorrow morning. Just a couple other things I want to tweak on there. And once that starts coming in, I think things are going to be pretty good. Because I've had people reaching out to me already just off the couple solo ads that I have ran and the testimonials. So I do have people actively reaching out now. So I think that that's going to be a way to get me there for sure.
Okay. Now, have you like we keep talking about the funnel, many people might not understand what it is. How would you describe a funnel to someone and why do you need one?
Oh man, well, I mean a funnel. If you don't know anything about a funnel, really, I mean it's a way to capture somebody's email address, take them through a series of offers, um, And ultimately, you want them to, yes, they get on your list, but ultimately, you want to make that money back and get them to, buy one of the products that, you are offering in that funnel. Right now, it's a product that, I created, which is converting pretty well. But ultimately, it's more than that too, because every person I send through that funnel, I want to make sure I'm getting the most bang for my buck. Whether it's banking clicks, and I know I don't want to get too deep into it if someone's just listening, but every person that sees that page is worth a dollar amount to me. So I got to make sure you really need to maximize every person that sees your opt-in page all the way through the exit of the funnel. So I know that's kind of broad and brief, but I don't know how deep you want me to go into it.
Well, we won't
But that's
go too deep.
general.
Yeah, we don't want to go too deep because we'll end up just talking for hours about this thing.
Yeah, exactly.
But the one thing I do want to ask you is the product, right? A lot of people think that if they're newbies, if they are not credible experts in the field of IM or whatever, they cannot create a product. Now, when you joined our program, you were about 3 or 4 months into the internet marketing space, I believe, something like that, right?
Yep. Yeah.
So, how do you go about creating your own product? Like, without getting into the mechanics of it, what is the mindset, the thinking behind it, and how did you overcome this barrier? Supposedly that you don't have any proof, you don't have any credibility going on, nobody, don't have any fancy guru friends besides myself, probably. So, how do you go? How do you go about creating your first product?
Well, I'll tell you what, it's definitely intimidating. To be honest, when I found out, I'm like, oh man, I got to create a product. I definitely was a little bit taken back, but to be honest, after going through it, it is it's super simple. It honestly is super simple. It can be something as simple as an interview, all the way to there's other ways of creating products, which is pretty simple. Which you don't have to be a rocket scientist. You're not reinventing the wheel. If you promise you, if you just tell yourself, hey, I'm going to do this, you can bang out a product in maybe 3 to 5 days, maybe a week tops. If you really are taking your time with it, it's not mind blowing like it probably sounds like. And I'm pretty confident now I can come out, put out a product every week, and if I really wanted to, with the help of the people that I've met through you. So it's not it's for anyone who's just starting out, don't let that deter you or take you off the tracks, because I think sometimes we see it, people when it comes to that part, people are stuck on that part for a while for whatever reason.
Yeah, and a lot of people they're just afraid that the customer will not be happy, or that the product it's going to be imperfect, or that the product will have flaws. But what they fail to realize that Microsoft has been releasing flawed products for the last couple of decades, and they've been making
Yeah.
billions of dollars, and they just every time they fixed it, they just reissued and relaunched their product into a new version and made even more money. So I completely agree on that part. So I guess I mean I will not hold you for much longer because I know you're a busy guy and you got some stuff to do. Perhaps you want to add some final words towards those folks who are still not able to get their business off the ground.
Yeah, for everyone that is still struggling to really move forward and make their first couple bucks online, I would say it's pretty simple. I would really just focus on the progress, because when you look at it in the big picture up front, it is a daunting task for anybody. There's a lot of things that go into making money online, but if you can focus and you can set goals for yourself along the way, just make progress every single day. Because honestly, nothing is ever going to be perfect. If you are going out there and expect perfection right off the bat, you're going to be upset, because it's just not going to happen. So that would be my biggest piece of advice: is focus on the progress every single day. Don't focus on the perfection piece. And over time, you are going to get to where you need to be, where you do wake up one morning and you're super excited that you got some money sitting in your PayPal account, because it will happen with that commitment. I really, really do believe that.
Yeah, so what you're talking about is really interesting. Most people they compete against other people, so they're like, look at Frank Kern or someone else who's like big, and they're like, oh, I'm compared to that guy, I'm like a nobody. But in reality, what you have to do, you got to compete against yourself. So you like look at yourself today compared to the one you were yesterday. So today you know this, and you're better this way, and that's how you progress. You just get better one step at a time every day, which is a much easier and less overwhelming way to go about creating success for yourself. Okay, well, Bill,
Absolutely.
I sincerely appreciate you taking the time to do this. I know that it's not easy to get you because you're a very busy guy. Um, So I'll be seeing you around, and
Good.
yeah, thank you so much for doing this.
All right. Thank you so much for having me, Igor. I appreciate it.
All right, take care.
You too.